morning, everyone.
Hello, this is me.
Today, oh, she's starting early on me. All right, here, today, we're going to do a little flip through and demo. Good morning, all.
Good morning, good morning. This is P.
And this is M. I'm Mariah.
Patricia.
PM Artist Studio. Welcome, everyone. So, let's kind of see who's here. Say good morning to everyone and all of that. I believe that you're seeing us. I hope so. All right. We have Petra and Arlene and Judy and Lori B. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, good morning.
I'm going to slide this over here. And while we're waiting for everybody to arrive, I'm kind of hoping Pat Anderson would check in with us over here because we want to say thank you to her. She has given us a cup of coffee.
And I forgot
or
my
two
surprise.
Or three.
Should I tell them my surprise later?
Surprise later.
Okay.
Yes. We are going to do some really cool things. A couple other little announcements. If you haven't seen or if you aren't part of Maker's group, please do come over and join us. I will have that link. I'm going to go and put some of these links back in the description after the feed. Oh, Isabel. Thank you for joining us. Isabel's new.
Yes.
Okay, so some of the things, if you get a chance, go to Etsy, check out or purchase the Foxy Rag. We are featured in there. Plus, it's a really cool issue. Like, P was kind of taking a look at the...
I just thought it was going to be, you know, like People magazine or something.
She didn't
I was
understand.
not impressed at all. But, and all she did last night was show some of the printables.
Yeah.
And I don't even like printables, but I like some
She
of
likes
those.
ours, though.
I do. But I can do things to those. But she had a couple that I wouldn't have to do anything to.
So we might be doing some of those. Yes. Good afternoon in Ireland. For sure, for sure. What else is our, before we get started on, I'll wait a little bit longer so some of you guys can kind of pop in and then we'll get to our flip through. I know we said that we were going to do this kind of old school, but then I was like, well, we're doing the live streams. I think it would be really cool for you guys that hang out with us, interact with us, would be able to ask questions. Because I think maybe sometimes, I know we have questions when we watch people. We're like, how'd they do that?
I know,
really, you know, then you do it in the comments or whatever, but maybe we can do a little bit more real-time question and answer. So, as we are showing them, please do not hesitate. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. Through both of them.
And when it's my turn, I will try to do that also.
It's highly unlikely.
But yes, and she's going to have to enlarge that. I can't.
I think I'm still going to have to sit over here. That's going to be
I think so, yes.
She wanted me to sit next to her, but I was like, I don't know about that logistically.
But I need to move this thing over here.
Why?
The monitor, this computer thing. Don't you need more room
no,
there?
I don't. I have it set up right over there. I've thought about all of these things.
Alrighty then. Well, I needed more room. So
Sandy's with us. Good morning, Sandy and Robin. We are over on Facebook. I'm going to take a quick look at that. I'm going to try to look at on my phone too. I felt really bad that, you know, you guys are, some of you guys are over here on, there we go.
Is Facebook up?
Yeah, and maybe it's feeding into this chat too. I don't know.
Are you seeing both?
I'm telling you,
conversations?
I learn something new every week. Well, I'm actually doing just the YouTube there. So there we go. There we go, there we go. And I think Laura is over. Good morning, Laura. I think she is over on Facebook. So let me know. I'll keep kind of checking my phone too for that chat. Because I can't get them to do the thing. I got it to do it once, but you know. Anyway, P's going to start. We decided that made most sense because the time-wise, that's kind of
how we start.
Yes. Those of you that know and have kind of seen us post a few little teasers here and there know that's certainly she finished first because, and then she helped me a lot too. Mine was a little bit bigger endeavor. It kept kind of growing. I had anticipated 5 pages and it ended up, what, 26, is that right? And then we lost our notes.
Well,
so.
I was just No, Mariah lost hers. I have mine. Mine are...
It's been a stressful week. All right, head on
Did
over.
you look in that pile of stuff up there?
Why would I look in your... That's on your side of the world.
No, it's right here under the paper clip.
That's the stuff that I just put there.
Okay.
Those are the
All right,
quotes.
I'm off.
Okay. And I think, like, we have over 20-something quotes between the two of us. Good morning, Felicia. All right, let's go over to P. There she is, topside.
Oh, I don't know. Mariah never gives me quite enough light, and she's always talking about it being blown out.
Here, I will.
I can't. Well, that did help a little bit. All right. Well, first of all, I hate the yammering. It drives me crazy, but I do want to thank both Lisa and Judy for the wonderful things.
Yes, we do need to kind of talk about that.
Look at this thing.
Hold on. Okay, yes, you have to explain the challenge.
Okay, well, the challenge was we each sent each other things.
Favorite things.
We kept some of the things that we liked, and we sent some of the things to Lisa and Judy.
We all had to use some of the things from everyone.
Yes.
Ourselves included.
Yes. So, the first thing I must say is, Judy, the envelope was like, this was the starter. Because I was just going to do this cute little...
so you have your notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Because I put them somewhere. Isn't this lovely? It just gets better. As you see the dreads that are occurring here, that's because it's been wound up.
Although we did have a bit of cheesecloth envy once we watched Lisa's. We're like, oh, wow.
Oh, we should have had her dye ours. Because Mariah just sprayed this and rolled it around a little bit. And I said, it's okay. But it's keeping everything together.
But man, if you want to see some awesome cheesecloth dyeing, check out Lisa's, if you haven't already.
Yes. Okay. Do you recognize this, Judy?
Let us know in the chat, Judy. She's here. Good morning, Judy. I know. She's on our same time. So.
Yeah.
I know it's early.
Okay, the minute it came in, I said the envelope is
Peg's
mine.
here. Good morning, Peg.
Yay.
Oh, she can't stay long. That's all right. I'm glad you're here.
We're very happy. Okay, the envelope was the thing that really said, I was just going to do these two little, I don't know what you call these things, things that you stuff in. From the envelope.
That is the belly bands of belly bands. When P does things, it's, yeah.
I don't go halfway. So anyway, I took the, I'm stuck.
Things are...
I did try to kind of grease things up, with that stuff, but it's still sticky. This is the cork that I think... Did Judy send the cork?
Yeah, Judy sent... Okay, so here's one of the other things. And here, and I don't know if you guys mind, I'm going to put my little face up in the corner there. Because I feel weird when I talk and don't have... you aren't seeing me. There we go. Oh, no, that's the other one. There we go. That's the one we want. So, Judy sent, the trickiest items. But turned out to be, that's the stuff that, why doing these little challenges like this, expanding our horizons. Because it's stuff that we probably wouldn't necessarily have chosen, and not really anything that we have on hand.
Have this stuff.
Yeah, so that was the coolest thing.
It was.
Look at something, the more you appreciate it. So that was definitely the case there. And now I'll turn my little face off again.
All right. Well, you can see that I actually printed on the back of the.
Now tell them what yours was supposed to be like mine.
Well.
Yeah.
It was, but I got very frustrated with the flimsy pages because they just weren't holding up to things like this.
She needs more substantial
need
substrate.
Muy
fuerte. I knew you were going to say that. Muy fuerte.
So
none of these flimsy little mixed media pages. Give me a chipboard.
I need cement.
Must have chipboard.
Rebar.
And then I'm going to put 2 layers of gesso and then maybe another on there just in case.
Just for chuckles and grins. Okay, well, anyway, Judy, the envelope absolutely was. And this is the first thing that I did.
Good morning, Leslie and Carrie. Glad you guys are popping in.
And can you hear that?
Oh, no worries, Carrie. We totally understand that. Oh, yes, we magnetized. I did
Mariah
magnets.
Magnetized. That's why I was really, really nice about doing things for her later on, is because
She's my quote getter, my quote writer.
And this structure would not be here without my darling daughter. So I'll just set that up there and you can appreciate the little...
Yeah, so I turned it into an accordion, which she makes me crazy with this because I tell her ever since the big one that we did, and when I say the big one,
it's a grande.
I'm like, we can't go more than 4 or 5 pages because number one, then you have to do the back sides, and then she wanted flip outs and things of that nature, and I'm like trying to get this thing across the desk. Here, kind of hold it out to show people how like.
Hey, and y'all remind me, and I'll show you how a really cool little way to get this.
Maybe we can demo that. We're gonna try to get to the demoing, but no,
Yeah.
show them how long that thing is. Or are you not ready to show?
I'm not ready.
Okay, sorry.
I'm still talking about the envelope, Mariah. You're rushing me.
I'm sorry. I'm very excited and a little hopped up on the coffee.
All right. Boy, we need to get some protein in her.
Yeah.
All right. I love the Braille stuff too. So cool. And I gel printed that.
And let us say, hey, that was one of the things we got the most comments about too. Like when we were doing the teaser posts, is like the Braille paper. So
Oh yeah.
tell you
y'all
what,
wanna
Judy.
know about that. So you need to hook these people up.
Yeah,
All
let them
right.
know.
Can you see? You can see a little bit of the printing. It was kind of hard because I think Judy had embossed this envelope before she sent it. So
Which is funny because we have that same embossing folder,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we recognized it.
you really loved it. And I kind of tried to get some of that wavy stuff going on here with the cork, but you know, I just knew I wanted it. It really wasn't intended to be the back cover. It was just to be.
Also,
the print.
explain that out of all of the items that were sent from like Lisa's stuff, you took all the dark purple. So like
She's
that.
still whining about that.
I'm really not whining. I'm just saying that that's why Pete, and then we were looking at the 2 piles because we were going to try to make similar things. But then I'm like, but you took all of the dark purple, so like how am I, I think we're just going to, you go your way. She got the stuff that she wanted, which was great because it was very P. And then I got all the rainbowy happy stuff that needed, that was going to require some spraying and, what I like to do. She hates spraying. She's a mess.
I think that's one of the reasons my finger is really bad is because I did try to spray some stuff. I'm allergic to that stuff. Well, here's my little quote. Patience is one of those virtues I very much appreciate in others.
Did you notice who that was by? It's an original, y'all.
It's an original. But look at this cute little guy. I mean, now come on, is this not the cutest thing ever?
See, this is the stuff that she sits over there and just can
See the
spend
print?
hours making these little things. And then, so the funny part was that,
Hey, you don't blow that. You have to wait until I get to that.
okay, sorry. I guess
Okay,
I'm jumping
can you
ahead
see
again.
Braille paper. Oh, and I'm telling you what, our Izzy,
Yeah, she
she
snatched
has a
some of
large
that.
chunk of that.
Yeah.
And here's another quote that I love. Never apologize for using what's at hand to create a solution to your problem. Patricia R. Carmichael.
Good morning, Livy and Lisa. Is it Livy? Livy's? Livy. Good morning, guys.
And there's some little leftover papers in there just in case I think of something really brilliant. I'll have something to write.
More of P's inspiration. Hey, and by the way, how about that admin post that she put in Makers the other day? I told her I think we should do that once a week. Like, just what did I say last night? It was really great. It was like something by P.
A piece from P.
A piece from P.
Okay, now this is really fun. And I don't know what that envelope was made out of, but I absolutely.
Now you need to hold it up a little higher and show those lovely leaves and bring it towards you a little bit, towards your body. There you go. Perfect. Spot on.
Look at those colors it absorbed the paint so beautifully, but yet you still had that lovely
Yes.
embossing. I mean, I learned something about what you can do. I really don't like the winder. It makes my shoulder hurt. But anyway, okay, now.
Well, and Judy had, she had colored, I think, some green and purple already on it, and then...
Yeah, it was, some of this was already...
Then,
this is what sort of the natural...
Then P came in on the gel plate.
Mm-hmm.
And did, you know...
Things. Okay, now, folks, this is always tricky, you know, when your stuff sticks.
And promise
stuff sticks.
There was no Mod Podge in this.
No.
This is all just
this is just
gel printing.
Gel plated leaves. Okay, so these are just little leaf things.
If you want to just leave something behind.
Oh, here, Mariah. She is such a spoiler.
Remember, the jokes are free, y'all. Jokes are free.
Okay, so here's the rules to the game. You have to, everybody gets a leaf, and then you write on it a leaf saying. Now, where are my leaf sayings?
Oh, this was your funny stuff, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Leave me alone. Drop me a leaf. Leaf it to beaver. Leaf now or forever hold your peace. So, you know, you can pass that around and everybody can come up with their own little leaf saying. You know,
And what do you call those? They're not puns. Is it a pun? No.
No, I don't know what you call it. There's probably a name for it. There'll be somebody out there.
Yep, let us know. Let us know in the
But
chat.
look at these. I just think that they're wonderful. And then Mariah sprayed the back to sort of coordinate with them, but they go in this cute little thing. And I'm not going to put those back in there. That just takes too much.
And let me tell you, I hit the green and purple hard in this.
Okay, we've done that. Okay, now I wish is Susan with us?
Not that I have seen in the chat.
Well, she'll just have to see this because
We'll let her know.
This is really sort of dedicated to her. And then this will bring me to...
They have a love of sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Peg says she would love to see a weekly quote from P. Well, I don't know if it's really a quote, more than, just, P's ideas about the world and things.
Look at the stick.
That's one mighty beautiful stick.
Mighty beautiful stick. But see, it helps hold my wonderful little washer on there.
Hey, we did. We both used some of our... Oh, yours is an actual washer.
Mine is actually, a metal
like
washer.
A metal washer.
Yeah, ding,
that
ding.
has... Where did we show that last week or?
Hear that?
Oh,
metal.
geez, seriously? Right on the... Just tapping the
get
mic.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay.
As everybody
So,
starts
all right,
popping
now,
out.
Mariah, you want to talk about this?
Oh my God. So this thing has been around, I mean, for months. If, months. And she just keeps adding layers to this thing. And I mean, if you could feel the weight of it, and it's darn near just a piece of plastic at this point with what's happening with it. But, I mean, it's been gray. I think it started out as just a manila folder type thing, wasn't it?
No, it's just a piece of copy paper.
They love your stick.
Thank you.
Snarky sniper. Love that pig.
Oh, hey, and this is from the shores of Lake Eklutna in Alaska.
That's an Alaska stick.
The Alaska stick.
I love that you know where your sticks come from.
I do.
I know. She also knows where her rocks came from.
I have a few more sticks.
She's got a container of sticks.
I have more down in the china cupboard. We gave up all of our china and just put it in drawers and put all of our cool stuff. Well, I did because, yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, I ran this through the winder. It's been 2 or 3 different colors. The most recent is the addition of the little green thing.
And that was the iridescent U.S. Art Supply stuff. I tell you what, that stuff is pretty cool. We like it. It takes a little getting used to.
It really does, and that's what's on this too, also.
And so that doubles as a stamp. I don't know that you really went into that fully. So that started out as the...
Just a stamp, to do some texture.
She used the cork, and the cork was on... It's like it has a sticky back.
Yeah, it's like, see
there.
This is what it started out as. Just the piece of cork, and I just cut these designs out, put on all the pieces that were left over from me cutting out, to make I was kind of trying to do the same swirly thing there. It didn't really work out that way, but I still think it's nice. And, you know, it kind of adds interest to the journal. Anyway, this is my little...
She's still, don't worry about it, Carrie. She's still going through her little pieces and parts. She hasn't even opened up the big body of the the book.
Well, the whole thing is I was just going to make the pieces and parts. And then I thought, you know, I've really got enough stuff here. I could probably do an accordion journal. But then I had to act really nice to Mariah because I just...
Well, she had poo-pooed on the whole... So she had done the cover, which... you know, rookie mistake anyway. One should never start with, I don't like starting.
The cover is what makes the whole thing flow. Look at that, Lisa.
See, and I do the cover last. Let us know in the chat. Are you a cover last or cover first? I'm a cover last, because then you use all the bits left over.
Well, and this is what, you know, Mariah was whining about earlier, that I used all of Lisa's.
Oh, go towards your body a bit more. I know you think that camera's right over there, but it's there. But look, it has some of the iridescentness. Plus Lisa's papers. I did that part right there.
I did this part. I might have to repeat it.
Yeah,
I think it needs a bit more purple to it also.
Well, it fades.
This was an early on.
And those sprays, kind of once they dry, they lighten up a lot.
Yeah. Okay. All right, back to this little jar.
Ah, see, cover last. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. See, but that's P for you. Just kind of doing her own thing in the world.
Well, okay. So I had, when I moved to Texas and finished my, got my art degree, I had to take a lot of classes to level. And one of them was Texas history. And I had a very cool instructor. He was actually related to some of the first land grant Spanish acquisitions.
Who was that?
In the Waxahachie area. I don't know. I
can't really
remember his name. He was wonderful. But so he wanted an outline. He always wanted an outline.
Lori B. And she makes beautiful stuff. She does her covers first. So there you go.
Yeah. The cover is the inspiration for the rest of the journal, I think. It sets the tone. All right. So anyway, this is business with outlines. And I told him, I said, I just can't do those. That's
funny.
Not how I work. I don't do outlines. I don't know how to do them. I don't know why you do them. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how you know what you're going to do before you do it.
How do you know beforehand?
This was back in the days when they used to have this computer in the long rolls, you know, with the perforated little edges, and it would feed through.
Wouldn't we all love some of that paper?
Okay, so I just did a rough draft scroll, and it was about 25 feet long. And I took it to his office and rolled it in his office. And he said, "It's okay, you don't need to do an outline." Okay. Anyway, that's how I work. So isn't that
scroll
lovely?
Or roll?
Now this is funny too, because see this little card, see those dots on there? I didn't know that they were there until I put on.
See, this is the...
And I was like, oh, holy cow. But look at this. See? Hey, just meant to be. Just
meant to be.
And here is another one of my most favorite ever quotes. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in.
We've
Leonard Cohen.
We've used that in a couple of journals, I think.
Well,
yeah, a couple.
And see my little cracks there? I actually made little cracks in the card.
Oh.
Oh, that is just so cute. Okay, enough of that. Put that over here.
Arlene says she can do bulky covers if I leave them till last.
Well, you know, I can probably. I don't really think this needs anything else. I think it's absolutely perfect, just like it is.
Well, I put the end pieces kind of to bookend it, but remember, we didn't really know that because once again,
it was still in pages.
Well, she had then deconstructed the spiral-bound little journal things we were supposed to use. She says, "I'm going to make something with this." So then she got frustrated because she had all of her little envelopes and things, and then she didn't know how that all was gonna work. And I said, all right, fine, I need to help you. So
she put all of her stuff on hold and helped me make this accordion journal, which you'll see in a minute how wonderful it is.
We're still on to the little books and pieces on the outer.
Look at that binding. Is that not just brilliant? You can't even see it, right? It's because I use purple thread. Look at that. Now that really shows off the printing.
Judy used to do hers first too, but I think she's.
You know, it doesn't.
I think it depends on the project.
It does, and I've got projects over there that need a cover badly. But look how cool that did on the other side.
So this was the little book that we did the teaser on.
But there's some of Lisa's paper, and I did actually go to our stash and steal out some more that she didn't send.
Yeah.
But this little jobber here.
Our problem was, we needed more stuff.
Yeah. Didn't have quite enough. It's really, it's just.
Oh, good morning, Uta. Hello.
It evolved, and it's really wonderful. And if you could hold it, you would see how really wonderful it is, because the pieces and parts I screwed up here, and this didn't. So I had to put a piece of stuff behind it because it didn't line up to the other one, and you know.
I tell you what, if we ever win the lottery, we're taking our show on the road, and we'll come and visit everyone and bring our journals, and then you can field them.
I'm serious, because that is just really what it really is all about. All right, so this is the cover. This is where you start.
We're how many minutes in?
How many?
Let's see.
Some lovely textures here. I'm not going to yammer on too much.
We're about 24 minutes in.
But I want you to appreciate the brilliance of this little move here. And it was all just accident. Lisa, do you recognize your papers? I don't know what I would have done without
I don't know if Lisa, are you here?
Boy, you're missing out, girl. You'll be real
Hey,
mad.
She stays up late. She'll watch the replay. No worries.
Hey, we stayed up late too.
Oh, it's been quite the week.
It has been. Okay, so here is a lovely tag made from.
I feel like I say that every week.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know where this came from. Anyway.
Oh, here. Well, hand it over and I'll tell you.
Because it's been embossed. It could be some of
Hey, you made that on your own. That was.
I did.
Look at you.
Wow. Okay, here's kind of the whole theme of the art journal here. To calm the busy mind and quell the rapid thoughts is to come to see the beauty in a raindrop on a leaf. And look at that little raindrop right there.
She was so proud of herself on that. And the funny thing is, and we were watching one of Luisa's videos, and she's talking about how she really hates having things dry and whatever, which we totally understand. But we're not, P can't stand the blow dryer. I have become quite in love with my blow dryer thingy. But anyway, so we always try to do the dimensional Mod Podge stuff or anything that's going to require any drying the last thing that we do that evening, so that way the next day it'll be ready to,
Because I'm always going like this.
Yeah, we are the worst. I have to set it to this.
Everything that we've ever dimensionally Mod Podged has my fingerprint on it.
Yes.
Because I've tested it. Okay, now look at this. This is some more Lisa papers.
And what was so funny, so, all right.
How beautiful these are.
P hands me this pile of stuff, and she says, I've done everything that I can do to this.
Yeah.
So now it needs to go in the journal. So see, this is where
now I did this, and Lisa, these were pieces that you sent.
Yeah, and then you did a little,
But this was still in its form that it arrived.
Yes, so you hand me the pile, and you said, this is my idea. I want this here and that there. So see, already, that's just 2 panels. And this thing is, how many total? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Well, we'll get it all folded out here in a second.
Yes, but anyway, Mariah did this fancy work here.
And it was just so beautiful. We couldn't do anything else to it.
She also constructed this thing. See this? Cut those things out.
So that's the gaffer tape.
Yeah.
Or the true, actually that's the bookbinding tape. It's not gaffer. Gaffer is different. Gaffer's the more, it's like in between duct tape and bookbinding.
I hear people talking about that.
Well, the white tape that we have, that's gaffer tape. And it's just ever so slightly less fabric-y.
Okay.
Do
you recognize this, Lisa? Anyway, these are all kind of gushed together, but I want you to know that they are embossed and on both sides.
Oh, and she had this
They're
thing
very
all ruffled out like a peacock in, full form.
Uh-oh. We've got some guys married up here.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're
good.
But I made it into like kind of a little
It's
snow cone.
Peacock pocket.
It's a peacock pocket. See? Look at this. I mean, is that not fun? But it arrived, and I just slightly altered it, so it really just needs to not be in a flat place. Okay, here's some more little pieces of the lovely envelope.
It needs to be displayed on like an easel.
Yes, it does.
The peacock pocket.
And here's some pieces of Lisa's paper. And, I need to still do a little quote on the back of both of those, but I was very busy doing Mariah's quotes, so I couldn't do that. But look at that.
Oh, Lori B got her. She has a gel print on order. All right. Well, let us know if you have any.
Gel plate?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, your life will never be the same.
It won't. And then you're going to have stacks of things around.
Okay, now these are some of the tag. This tag particularly was one that was started during our Make a Tag challenge.
That was the other kind of awesome, it's not like we had necessarily planned that a ton, quite a few of the tags that we made or started in our tag challenge ended up in both of our journals.
Yeah.
So it was a good thing. We needed those.
And Mariah used tons of those papers.
Oh, the little squares.
Tons of them. Okay, now Lisa, this is some more of your paper. And this thing right here, oh, I wish you could feel it. It is absolutely fabulous. I did add a few more layers of gel plate printing.
Oh, Arlene's she's a gel printer as well.
And this is some of that metallic paper. I think it arrived.
Oh, okay. So Judy, that was the other kind of crazy thing. This metallic, like mirror metallic wrapping paper. So we embossed it, and then I inked it.
And then I inked it again. Actually, I didn't ink it. I don't use ink. I went over it with some of that shiny stuff. But see how those go together there? Look at that.
Friends!
I did some kind of freestyle leaves here on both sides that kind of mirrored the whole.
Well, and this was one of my tissue paper, stencil pieces that P had made me that I was going to use for, I think, Shibori, which, is on hold. But I said, well, just let me, let me just color it so it matches your journal. And it turned out to be one of those things that was perfect because it allows you to have something on hand that you can color to fit whatever project you're working on. And then it was a fantastic element that you're able to repeat throughout. And wasn't that kind of your point where you're like, oh, this really is the leaf journal?
Yeah. Leaf motif.
The leaf motif.
Look at that.
Plus, all the awesome eco-dyed papers and
which I just added a little bit of bling to it, nothing big. That was kind of an unintentional one. It fell down and in the stuff I dropped it. I was kind of mad about that, but oh well.
Oh yeah, and Judy, we had to fight Izzy off of some of that metallic paper that we ended up inking. Now why is that all white and not sprayed?
Oh, because I hadn't done it yet. I forgot this was covering.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that.
Booty. Yeah, I'm going to read it to you anyway. I've seen women insist on cleaning everything in the house before they sit down to write. And it's a funny thing about house cleaning. It never comes to an end. Perfect way to stop a woman. Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes.
Yeah, we really like her.
I love her, and her book.
Now, when she read this to me, I said, well, I get that, but I also need a little bit of a cleanliness, a certain environment in order.
I'll recognize this. I'll just give you a little. These are my, you can tell.
Her things.
We've been doing the thing, miniature thing.
Well, they're not miniature. Those are kind of medium things.
Yeah, these are the half pages. Half pages. But look at this beautiful job Mariah did down here with this little, I don't know, fragment of paper where from whence it came.
Those were squares, I think.
Oh yeah, because they have veiny stuff.
Yeah, they have the.
And we're gonna have to make some more of those.
Well, and then she asked me why. No, you need to open that back up and show, because she was kind of mad at me for using that green. And she's like, why did you use that green piece over there? And I said, well, because there is repetition. Like, this keeps you moving. And
look at here.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do.
Because she was only seeing it without the stuff that I had put on earlier.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And then this ended up here.
Oh, that's right. There was a big
this
switch around.
This is one of our printables here. And that's some more.
That's the other side of it.
That's the other side of this.
Again,
yeah.
repetition, movement.
Repetition and movement. Okay, well,
basically.
basically.
Judy said she'll send Izzy some shiny paper. She'll love it, I swear, that she's like a crow. If it's shiny, especially if it's pink, I mean, she's really...
I've got to show you this, y'all, because I think it's just brilliant, and I think it will be, you know, one of those moments in your life when you're going to go, oh my gosh, that is so brilliant.
See, and this is the other reason we wanted to do the flip-through up here, because every time we've ever done it downstairs, we're like, oh man, we should have brought that down. We should have brought that down.
Yeah, it just it doesn't work out. Look at that beautiful, isn't that? Oh my.
Oh, you might have to just glue that on there.
I might have to, and you might have to make me another one.
Well,
I like having two because you can put one up and it can be drying while you're, you know, flip-flopping with the other one.
And we're really
that
not...
Is just, isn't that? Okay, we need, yeah. And look at the texture on it. You know,
see, we're not trying to sell our stuff. We're just trying to sell our stuff. You need to.
Yeah, go read my piece that I wrote in Makers and you'll understand. All right, see this little, this is one of those things that comes with the trash bags.
Here, hold it over the black stuff, not over the white.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh my gosh,
there
I was watching somebody show stencils. Oh.
You keep talking about this. Is now week 2. She's been yammering on. Maybe she should put that in her piece.
I will.
There you go. Write up something.
All right, so this is those things that come in the trash bags, right? That you never use. Or I don't. We never use.
She just saves them and puts them in a drawer because she's gonna need them.
All right, so these little holes on your thing when you deconstruct. Okay, you put it through there. Then you put your...
Because she couldn't find her one that came with, like, sewing, right?
No, I couldn't find my crochet hook. I don't know. It's somewhere. But anyway, this was there, and I thought, oh, that'll work perfect. And it does. You pull it through, tie it off, pull it through, tie it off, pull it through, and you just go along there. But that's a sari ribbon, and doesn't it look just absolutely brilliant?
See, we'll make our own tools. He's got something in the drawer.
Well, we need to do the back side.
Yeah, you need to spread the whole thing out, which, of course, you know, she's going to have to give you, like, a panel-by-panel thing, because it's huge.
It's still slightly sticky.
Yes, and it's very humid today. Extremely humid.
It's extremely humid. All right, so this is the back, and these are just gel printed.
Well, and some of them you made straight away, and then I was like, those are brilliant. So then I needed more because I was like, this is, you know, and then I brought, see, little pieces from the one side over. More repetition. Bring it towards your body. There you go. But just more gel prints. And then I did a little bit of color spray just to bring in that consistent purple color that was from the sprays, because that's a bit hard to do on the gel plate.
Yeah, it is, and
so my request was that she left
the print here,
the speckled, the white areas, so then I could bring in the spray.
And I did come back and add a bit of bling bling and just.
I think that's actually.
Some stuff
that's your back panel. That was one of the very first things, and she had just basically painted it with the iridescent. I was like, well, that's kind of okay, and that's where she got frustrated and handed it over to me.
But I just you know, and when you photograph this iridescent, it's just you cannot capture.
That's why I try to
It's
do the little videos.
True magnificence. All right, now I have to check my notes very quickly here. All right.
Oh, Robin says, great tool. Dental floss threaders are good for small holes, too.
Oh, yes, they would be. That's kind of the same principle here.
There you go. Robin's a crafty woman.
Okay, well, I think yeah.
She's arty and crafty.
Hey, you know, that doesn't always come in the same package. Okay, I think that, I don't know, Mariah, have I talked about everything I needed to talk about?
Oh, Arlene says those wire things come in handy. I made a mobile with sticks and those ties painted for my daughter. Well, we'd like to see that. Arlene, I don't know if you're part of Makers, but we'd really love you to come over and...
Yeah, and we want to see that because those, you know, sometimes it's just the littlest thing that really...
We love to see things like that.
And it's just like that envelope that...
Yeah, P was.
Sent.
She was like, "Can I have the envelope?" I said, "Of course you can have the
all
envelope."
Fortunately, I don't know what kind of tape that was that you used, but I got it off of there without tearing a single. And I mean, I did. There's no piece of it left. It's every single piece of the envelope, front and back, was used in the making of this little lovely. Oh.
What? Yeah.
There's my alcohol inked Mod Podge, dimensional Mod Podge. Can you see my fingerprint there?
Like we said. There's no patience.
No patience. Okay, so this is my contribution. Mariah's always contributing things with her stencils and whatnot. But if you can tell me how you're going to use this, I will send you this washer.
Look at that. That's a beauty there. Surprise giveaway. Tell me. I love it.
Surprise giveaway. And I have one spiral left if you would like.
So you can either come back. Now it takes a while for the live stream to render. So remember that. So you will have to come back and comment. Or if you want to just let us know here in the chat, you can comment there. I would rather you just come back and do a comment later so that way we can read it. Because reading the chat sometimes is a little crazy. Or if you are already a member of our Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists group, then let us know there, and then we will send it to you. And of course, we'll probably send other little surprises and whatnots with the washer. But please be elaborate.
Yes, you have to really convince me that you're going to do something
Wonderful.
Yes.
This is hard for her to part with things, so
yes.
Know that it is a quite special occasion here. Also, let's just kind of take this little break in between the moving from P to me. If you guys have not liked the live stream, if you would please do that. It helps us big time. We are moving up in subscribers and all that, so it really does help. And I think that is all for the, who's it, what's it's. Are we ready to move on over here?
I'm just going to place these artistically here.
Oh,
so
I love it.
Everyone can see them.
Okay. Well, we're gonna.
Look at that moveless. Oh, and did you notice I had my purple on today?
Well, you have to.
Purple and my teal.
Here, you have to come back over here, and I'll turn the camera on, and then.
Okay. I'll bring my coffee.
Oh, Carrie says I love the spirals and the squirrels. 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 It's so funny that you're saying that, Carrie, because you'll see here in just a second. Because it was something that we often use in our artwork, and actually just kind of throughout our lives, there's always been a spiral here and there. Remember my 21st birthday? We put it on the cake because I loved it. I had a stamp, and I was like, "Oh, this is so awesome."
Yes, and even when you got married.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. The spirals and the.
Yeah. So see, Carrie had said she loves the spirals, and so she's here. You gotta scoot in and here, show your jewel.
In and see my jewels. This is for Helene. Are you here today? She's in the UK, and I know whatever time difference is.
Well, Carrie's there too. Yeah, it's evening time, I believe, or early evening. Okay, so you saw the jewelry, right? Okay, now let's go to Mariah's side camera. Bum bum. Here I am.
There she is.
And I'm going to try to let P do that. All right, so you were that was a perfect lead in. Spirals and whatnot.
It was.
Because, so you have to say the word.
Triskelion.
So I'm going to actually use this as a stamp. There's still some little things that I do want.
You need to hold that up more because the contrast is horrible.
All right. Well, and I'll put
There we go. Pull your lamp out.
Well, I gave it all to you.
I know. Bless your heart. You weren't using it anyway.
That's true. So this is the other stamp in its raw form, has not been used yet. In that Triskelion. The triple spiral, which we thought was spot on because there was the trio swap. I mean, technically there are 4 of us, but the swap was 3.
Yeah, we kind of work as one.
Yeah. So, this is kind of one of those things. And Mom's going to do some more stuff to this. P is going to do more stuff to this to stamp. We were just, again, working on this until midnight last night. Because I had
Mariah has been putting in like 12-hour days.
Which is unheard
projects.
Of. Like work stuff.
Yeah, the kind that pays the bills. And I've been very lonely, and that's why I've been, posting and writing things without her permission, because usually I run them by her first, but I haven't been able to. So.
What's nearly BQ barbecue? BQ time? I don't know. Isabel, tell us. Okay, so that has been a common theme. I love that Carrie picked up on that.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to talk about with this,
there you go,
with the Triskelion, is that it, the idea of 3ness.
I'm gonna bring that down.
Mother, daughter, granddaughter.
We love 3s.
And it sort of goes with the whole journal, because the journal, you will soon see, is about women and quotations that concern women, because that's who we are.
All right. So I did my cover almost very last, but it has a little bit of
almost everything from every single page on the cover. I mean,
and even little pieces from, let's see. Now, well, so you can see that this is like some of the tags that we did, and these are just little offcuts. This is the balsa wood that Judy sent. There are the wax dyed papers from Lisa, a little bit of the braille. This awesome thing, and I'm so glad that Lisa described it in her video, because we're like, I don't really know.
Right. What does that mean?
Okay. This is okay.
Oh.
Barbecue time. Steak time. Oh, yes. Lovely.
Oh, I wish we were there. My stomach's growling. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
I know. I'm hungry, too. Okay, so then I sprayed the balsa wood. This was from Judy's stuff. Like I said, she sent the most challenging but most awesome things. We took ours apart much like Lisa did, and so this is the plastic side, although the plastic is down, and flipped it, put a little bit of spray on it. Same thing with the other side. So these were actually 2, combined pieces. And you can kind of go back if you want to see like all of our stuff before we turned it into the things that we did. Remember, we did those Happy Mail videos. So
yes.
If you want to see things before they were altered, that is available. And you can kind of jump around from Lisa's channel, which is Sirius Heka, Judy's channel, which is Judy P's sCraftyJourneys, and then of course ours. You know where we're at because you're here.
Good job.
There we go.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no, you need to hold that up so that they can see that edge.
Yes, the fluffy, and I was
you need
channeling
to move it that way.
See?
There you go.
I was channeling my inner Carrie on your journal, the little roughly book that you posted the other day. I was like, I need that in my life. Like, I've got to make that happen. And so, and sorry, I'm bumping the camera, but I'm trying to get the light a little better on my side here. Oh, you know what I can do? I think that will solve. Aha. many of our issues. Look at that. So, lovely, lovely, fluffy fluffiness.
That's what she was doing at midnight last night.
She's like, are you
Adding
putting
more
fluffy on every page? I'm like, if I can, I sure will try.
Now, we need to talk about those washers.
Oh, yes. So, see, these are some more of the washers. Many layers of Mod Podge and other dimensional. I don't know, what all did you use on it?
All kinds of acrylic paint.
And then you did a little bit of
brushwork
there. Ran it through the winder.
By
the way, the winder is the embosser. You know, the little cricket. We could just call it the winder.
Because that's what Izzy calls it. She gets it out and just winds
But, like, I mean, you know, we are not lacking in texture. Layers. This is the intro. Like, the cover was,
all
like,
right,
every bit.
Moving right along.
All right. So.
And seriously, this was applied last night at 11:53.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not reading here.
Gotta love the fluffy edge. Yes, you know I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of the fluffy edge.
Oh, love the wash. Oh, Jeanette! Jeanette's here.
All right, well, Jeanette, we did a thing, so you'll have to kind of either come back and watch.
And you got it.
Oh, here.
Oh, yeah.
We use this thing.
Is like, I lost it and I was in a panic.
She was blaming me.
Because Mariah, she hides things.
This came from Jeanette and is a common thing used out through, like, you saw that with all the tags and everything that we have done.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. I'm trying to get, this thing is making me crazy.
What is it?
Well, it's the plug.
Oh, it's in the thing? Yeah, it's ugly.
I know.
I told you we needed to set this table up. Here, just a minute.
All right, 1 second. Around. Look at that.
We got to do a little...
Now we're going to get those comments that we're unorganized. Thanks for that. We really... Oh, goodness.
Oh, it's just a small
All right.
A small kertuffle in the whole brilliant...
Now, here, watch my shoes. These are the ones Izzy keeps throwing around and telling me to... Mommy, get your shoes out of the way. How funny.
Brilliant child. Brilliant child. I think we're going to be able to accommodate it.
There you go, maybe.
That's kind of tight here. Okay. Whoops.
There we go. Awesome.
Yes, and besides that, I can read this better over here.
All right, look at that.
Oh, and Carrie says, hi, Jeanette. That is lovely, too. Glad stamps are getting some use. Oh, I mean, they really seriously are.
Well, especially that one.
Yes, that is my go-to.
Okay. I did this very last as well because I wasn't sure how this was going to end up and everything. And then so P was even doing this at like 11 o'clock last night. The stenciling there. This piece was one of the little squares. And I didn't want to do a lot to this page. This is the plastic. So I taped it. I did like the, 2-inch double-sided tape. Because I wasn't sure, longevity-wise, what else was going to hold it down with it being that. I believe it's transparency. Let us know in the chat, Judy. But I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then she put layers of different papers, I think. Because it almost seemed like some of it was the wax dyed papers. And then ran it through. And you can see a little bit of that texture from her running it through the embosser. And then all I did was put a couple of sprays of yellow and a little bit of green. And that was it. Other than that, that is what Judy, sent us. And now, here is the cheesecloth. And Mom said it looked like a caterpillar or a little dog. I tried not to take offense to that, but, I like it. It's the pet on the page.
I just really didn't know what it was supposed to be. It made a lot more sense once you start putting the rest of the stuff on there.
It's art,
but
really.
It was just kind of hanging out down there in the corner, and I said,
Oh, yeah, her thing with the
kind of looks like a golden retriever.
She is so mean sometimes. And then I tucked a little thing underneath here, and I was like, well, again, I want to still be able to see. And then I put a little swirl right there, but then there's a quote. Some days I am the artist, other days I am art. And when life gets real weird, I become both. Nikki Rowe. That's kind of my...
These are kind of backwards.
Yes. So there is that page. I did a bit of yarn here, again with the fluffy bits, and tied it in there, and then that little... And then each page should try to continue, pick up elements from the one before, but still giving that, you know how I am about the flow. I figured P was actually going to give me a hard time about this one, sort of, coming in out at the corner or whatever. But
you added the yellow there. It took the emphasis off of the corner.
Yes.
Yeah, I do still, yeah.
There's still some things that upset her about it, but I don't really care. She's not in charge.
My coffee. Lost my coffee.
And then she got mad at me because I had ripped up this one piece.
And it was on a really great card. I was horrified.
But I need the yellow, and it was perfect. And then this is kind of like my weird little peanut.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just, but it fits in there. And see, there, repetition. And then she was so sweet. She wrote this and did, this was the little favor quote for me. Promise me one thing, wild child. Never filter your soul to suit a mold. How perfect was that? That I just went rogue and did what I wanted.
Yeah. Okay, so Lily just said, no, just keep going over there. I'll read it to you. The fluffy stuff looks like a chase lounge.
Oh, it does. It does.
Yeah.
It's kind of, so you can come and lay down.
Oh, yes, and we should make a thing of one of the nudes that we have downstairs, and they could be reclining. Either the Degas or the Modigliani.
Oh, look at you. All right.
I think that'd be a great idea. I'm just going to do it.
Okay. I haven't done anything with these papers, but I love them. These are on the rice paper, but they're so wonderful because, see,
I'm going to print more on those.
Yeah, P just did a little bit of gel printing on them. Of course, the Crackle stamp, this one. Our friend, Mr. Crackle. And then, so we stamped it, then she did the little bit, but you can come in with the spray, and maybe, I think we're doing pretty good on time. I'll demo that and show you guys how great it takes the inks. I'm going to leave that off to the side, in fact, just so that'll help remind me to do that. Again, more of the squares that have many millions of layers through the last couple weeks of all the gel plate printing and tag making and whatnot. This is one of the tags.
We're getting kind of low. We're going to have to bust it out and do it. Oh, and I have a new idea.
And then a quote. The beautiful thing about learning is nobody can take it from you. B.B. King. I think others have said similar things.
Yeah.
And then Lisa's wax dyed papers with, seriously, just a simple spray of the yellow. And then it turned into this beautiful, you get this peachy tone along with the bits of yellow. And then the other page that we're about to flip through, I just rolled that up a bit just to strengthen that, because alone the wax dyed papers are a bit frail until you glue them down. So, but I still loved that whole softness of it. And then you can see, hopefully, and the lighting's a little funky again, but that's all right.
It might not be for them. I hear people talking about and obsessing about lighting, but, I
don't know.
As long as it doesn't look like you're in a dark hole, I'm happy.
All right, I don't think we're in a dark hole.
No, we're not. Oh, I like how that
and
showed
see?
up there. Yeah.
There you go. And a little bit of the repetition. And this is a different yarn, but it still had very similar stuff. So I love blotter cloths, and I noticed that even like Susan's been posting things about it, and
this is from the tie-dye.
I think even Louisa the other day. But yeah, this was from our tie-dye session. And all I did was to emphasize the pink, is come back over it, do a little bit of spritz there, just to, bump up all the pink and get rid of, the white that, I always get crazy about.
I did the
and then she did the stenciling across there.
Yeah.
And I did the
That's kind of tricky.
But see how it flows? Even takes you up to the corner, but then brings you back in.
You can go to the corners as long as you come back.
Looping back in. Like a wildflower, she spent her time allowing herself to grow. Not many knew of her struggles, but eventually all knew of her light.
I love that.
Nikki Rowe. I'm telling you, that girl, she's got some knowledge.
You need to look her up. She's got some...
She's a mystic, isn't she? Or is that... Yeah.
She is, and I don't know, she had some sort of, very catastrophic event in her life.
An accident, I believe.
That
yeah.
She was immobile for a while or something.
Were you playing with this again?
Well, I just was looking at it.
Uh-huh. See, she doesn't put it back right. See?
I was reading it and looking.
She does. She comes in at night and...
After Mariah leaves.
Looks through things. Now, here's a little...
Check it out and see if she's got any of my good stuff that she's using inappropriately.
Oh, here. If you want to talk, you can talk up to that.
Oh, Jeanette said the color is amazing.
Okay, good.
And somebody... Oh, Judy B said that the Chase Lounge comment was funny. And
right.
This page should be a body spray flavor and label. Well,
oh, with the flowers?
Yeah.
Oh, here, and I
Some
guess
Bed Bath and Beyond, right?
Yes, Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah, it's Beyond.
I wish you guys could feel this because it's so... This is more of Lisa's papers, wax dyed papers with the spray. And what's so funny... Oh, so some of them... I had started with them in a certain order, and then I was like, that just really, I did some other pages further back that I needed to move.
This is what I hate about a spiral.
Well, you are not committed. What I did is I cut it nicely, and then I brought it back in, and I seamed it, and I glued it. So these were actually further back. This was really technically page 2, and then I brought these in because I needed these pink ones to lead in from here. So there you go. And then I flipped this because this was actually at the bottom, remember? And I was like, oh my god. I'm like, but I actually like it better. Because then when I photograph it, it's up and it, these are the crazy things. This is where my brain goes with all this, nonsense. And Peace is laughing.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. That's some good lighting.
Yeah,
okay.
It is.
So this was part of, and it's so funny. Like I knew Lisa was gonna really key in on it, and I think that Judy did too. Like, oh, this is really cool stuff. This is not. It was a huge piece, and P had done just layers of. It was one of our test papers for all the different.
Yeah. Whenever I wanted to try something out, I just went to this piece of paper.
Yeah, and
it ended up being a really nice.
Yeah. It was crazy. So that I used as a. We're calling these sashes that run this way.
Yes.
If it goes this way, it's a belly band. This is a sash. And actually, I like the sashes to run diagonal. But I only had so much of this paper, so it had to go there.
It didn't allow for a diagonal.
And you'll recognize some of the squares from the last few weeks. This was from Peas. This is a little leftover piece. And then I was like, oh, but it looks so cool. And I like the little tabby thing. And then some of these tags, I just, they're just art pieces. And repetition of the swirl. This is the thumbprint stencil. I'm telling you, man, that one is a good one to have.
It really is.
Because you can use the little straight lines on it, and then you can use the swirls. It's like a perfect
independently.
size.
You don't have to have them all together.
And then here's some of our paint swatches that we picked up at the hardware store. And then P had tested out some stenciling. And I don't know that you can see it exactly in there because it's extremely subtle. But a bit of it shows through. And the key to getting this fluffy napkin collage-y business, to keep it fluffy, is to use the glue stick. And then put it on. And then see, it shows just ever so slightly that bit of texture paste coming through. And it doesn't darken the paper. It just keeps it all nice and subtle with that light coloring. Just some, little technique tips and tricks there on that whole thing. And I just loved how that stacked like that.
Arlene Adkins dash.
Lisa from Sirius Heka. She was part of the trio swap as well. And
Petra says she uses the thumbprint stencil a lot.
Oh, awesome. So, yes, that's who Lisa is. Sirius Heka.
But
She was part of our
Arlene
swap.
Adkins/Zell is a new person.
Yeah. Well, she's from Susan's group.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Welcome. We're happy to have you. We love Susan. And she missed out. I had...
Be sure to tell her about the stick.
Be sure and tell her about the stick. She missed out on the stick. She'll feel real bad about that. I think she's another one of those late nighters that...
Maybe. Well, and she's in California, too. So, she's kind of like Robin. I mean, it's a big ask for them to get up so early.
But isn't Susan in Australia?
No, she's in California.
I, for some reason, thought she was in
Oh.
all along.
Okay, so this beautiful page, and Judy, let us know in the chat exactly. I would love to know, like, sort of the layering and the whole thing. But again, all I did was a little bit of spray, and it was so crazy because this piece stayed on there from, remember, this. These two were together. She had
Sandwich.
embossed it, and then this is the other side of it. And it's just so beautiful. And it's like Tyvek or something because it has this.
Get it up to the camera.
Yeah, I'm trying. Here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah, you can see that little pattern in there. Little, yeah, kind of linen-y.
Well, or even, I mean, it's almost honeycomb-like, but it has a shimmer to it. It's just really interesting. So, yeah, let us know what that is exactly. I would love to try to reproduce this because it's super cool. But very thick. This is a very substantial page.
Okay, these other people know who Arlene is. I don't know who she is.
Okay.
But hello, Arlene. We need you in our... If you are here, then...
Get over to Makers.
Get over to Makers so that you can become... So we can get to know you.
Alright, so you guys remember this tag. This was one of the ones that was made last week in our challenge.
Whoa!
And it just went so perfectly. Added fluffy bits. You see the braille pages. Of course, I threw in some more napkin stuff. A little bit of, you know, the fluffy puppy chase lounge bits.
Left over from the dog on the front.
Left over from the dog on the front. And then more squares that have been stenciled and gel printed and, you know, our stuff that we do. I'm having
Oh, yeah, I hear
little
that sound.
stickies.
Yeah.
I left this open because I would like to put a quote on it, but we didn't have anything short enough.
No, all of the others that I had left over were very long.
But no,
Lengthy.
no worries. And look at this gel print. I cut it up before she could say anything about it. Because I knew she might give me a hard time. But
I
it
like
looks...
how you centered it.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
And then see, this was the edge, the white edge, and I just came in, again with the sprays, and even followed through with the pink. I just, you know, didn't match up exactly, but that's okay.
And
it
when she
frames
says
it
comes
nicely.
through with the sprays, Mariah doesn't actually spray on stuff. She sprays on, see her little boat of sponges?
This is my sponge boat.
It's her sponge boat. We don't have SpongeBob, we have sponge boat. Say that fast.
It's the bottom of a container that P cut out.
And you should see her hands. I mean,
Oh, look, I
is-
still have, like, blue fingernails
'cause
from last night.
This stuff just keeps on.
Yeah.
giving. Now, could you read the quotation, please?
Oh, yes, sorry. I'll gift you with feelings you don't know were there. That's the pleasure of crossing paths with a mystic. Nikki Rowe. There you go. And look at that. So 2 squares put together. Just did a little bit, again, come back with the dauber, you know, put in the color to bring them in. And then
Judy P says, so beautiful. Leslie says, oh, I love that, gorgeous. And Alicia says, zowie, that's nice.
all right, I think we're halfway through.
And Judy P says, that's funny. I don't know what was funny.
Oh, well, I'm waiting for Judy to give us a good explanation of, you know, what that one paper stuff was.
Such a colorful sponge boat. It's the side of an alcohol. You can't see the bottom
And
because
look,
she
now-
turns it up.
Now some of my yarn stuff
But
is...
see, now this is when I was into... See my measuring marks there on the side?
Look at that. She
That's-
almost hit the mark.
I'll tell you what, it's a little bit difficult, you know.
Cutting plastic, yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know where the rest of it went.
Yeah, I love the
'Cause it
sponge
has-
boat. Because
Yeah.
it just sort of keeps them contained, and then, you know, I can bring them and move them around and all that. Okay, More squares. Look, see, 2 pieces. And then just made the little side pocket. I should have added some furry bit over here. I missed this one.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Missed one, y'all. But look at that. So, what's so funny...
You need to hold it up closer.
Okay. P used to have this coat. And
That I got at a thrift store.
Yeah, and we used to call it the Fraggle coat. She's like, well, that looks pretty fraggly.
Because they used to make fun of me. I used to wear it. It was hand crocheted or knitted. I don't know. But it was like this kind of brilliant coral color. And then it had this beautiful, shiny pink silk lining.
It was quite the coat. I wonder what happened.
I cannot believe I gave it up.
Well, I don't think it would fit either one of us these days.
This is true. But I could recycle it.
True that. All right. If you want to fly, you have to give up the things that weigh you down. Toni Morrison.
Hey, Robin, I can hook you up with a sponge ship.
We'll ship you a ship.
Really?
I think she could probably make her own. Robin's, like I said, she's crafty and arty.
And the other thing that you can make it from is your hydrogen peroxide bottles. We go through a lot of that because we make our own spray and wash, and we have a dirty baby.
Oh, she is. So I kept some of the squares in here plain, like this, because I wanted you guys to be able to see truly like how useful these little squares. I mean, Arlene, I'm telling you, when you start doing Arlene already gel prints, Lori B, do squares. You'll love it.
Yeah, and it's a good place to start with.
Because it's a small...
And Arlene says, oh, I have an Arizona tea jug. Going to make a sponge cruise liner. Oh, yes, good idea.
You've got to show us that in Makers. I'm telling you.
Well, I could make Mariah one, but I don't know if she has room for it.
Yeah,
she's kind of...
And P bought a new... We are up to 3... we are up to 3...
Twisty stands.
Yeah. Spinner,
Spinners.
our things.
And I have to get a wider... I need a 12-inch base.
Yes.
I'm putting... we'll show you that maybe sometime.
All right.
Have our camera, we can move it around.
Yes, one of these days. When things are clean. Okay, so this was a really cool gel print that you had made, and then you're like, well, do you want it as a tag? And I was like, well, maybe. And it went so perfectly with these. And then, I don't know what P was thinking. So she gave me the quote like this, and I'm like, well, do you want me to chop down the tag? Or, well, it just so happened this was sort of at the end, and I had all these little bits. So I pieced these little bad boys together. They're from various things, but all have commonality in color.
Commonality in color. Oh, y'all need to write that down somewhere.
Now I'm going to put that on a quote. It's important to have commonality in color for consistency and...
Okay, we have Uta. Says your lettering is beautiful and the texture too. Thank you ever.
Yes, that's why I love
so much.
I love having P write the... Otherwise, I'm going to print them out and do, typesetting. That's my thing. Okay, the whole world is an art gallery when you're mindful. There are beautiful things everywhere, and they are free. Charles Tate.
I love that.
Tart.
Charles Tart.
Tart.
I don't know who this person is, and I really didn't.
Usually we look that up.
I do look them up because, you don't want to be quoting somebody that's a total douchebag. And occasionally, we have.
Very important not to quote douches.
Yeah, don't do douches. I was, I really love John Muir, who created the...
Well, we used him a lot in the Mountain Sunrise.
And then come to find out...
He's actually not very...
He's a racist. And we're just going, oh my gosh. Well, don't quote you anymore.
He's an environmentalist.
He's an environmentalist, but,
just not so good on the people end of things.
Yeah. Well, I really don't think he was a people person. I think he's a plant person.
So it really wasn't particular. It was just people in general.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's stuff we, that's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So more of the squares, but see, tore it out, did coloring around it, add a little bit of yarn there. I love this yarn. Some of my most favorite. With the swirls.
You need to bring it up towards the camera.
And then you see the crazy, so like what P was talking about, every once in a while she'll do a clear what is it, the clear texture gel.
Yes. I mean,
And
you
so
know,
it just pops out every once in a while.
and it's so irritating because you can't see it until you put something on top of it. And you know, when I'm doing those, I usually do a whole bunch of them, and I kind of just put them back in this stack. And sure enough, pull them out, and there's a little circle show up.
Circles show up. All right. You can't break a woman like that. She carries an esoteric mind with an oracle soul. She fiercely connected to spirit whilst dancing the human dance. Nikki wrote.
Whilst.
Whilst.
I love that word, whilst.
P actually uses that.
Okay, Arlene
Fluffy
said,
bits. Look
what
at that.
is the name of the group? Makers.
Makers of mixed media, art,
and artists.
well, it's actually a
Art
slash.
Art. Artists.
Okay, so I love this page. This is my Phoenix page.
Okay. Oh, which paper were you talking about?
Oh,
The one that had the acetate on the front and it was glued together with something and embossed.
and I have none of it left because this is the one side of the plastic top piece because I tore mine apart. And so did Lisa. I was so happy to see that she did that. I was feeling kind of bad, but I was like, I really want the inside of this so I can color ever so slightly there, and then this was the inner piece, and see some of that. And actually, this is flipped. This would be the piece that was left on here, and then just little bits of spray, it dabbed like P said with the sponges. You know, just kind of coming in there and doing this a little bit. I spray into the sponge, and then I.
She's a dabber.
I'm a dabber.
She's not a sprayer. She's actually a dabber.
Sometimes I
she
spray.
uses sprays, but she dabs them on.
Or, like, for the backgrounds of all these pages, I spray. I mean, you spray. And then you come in with the sponge, pick it up, move it around. Those are, you know, backgrounds are a different deal. But when you're doing the fine work and you're trying to match things up, that's when I really bring in the sponge. So, this is another piece that we sent off to. So this and this little pieces there that we sent to both Judy and Lisa. I'm kind of sad that I did because I'm like, man, that stuff was wonderful.
Oh.
I'm like, P, you need to make us some more of that.
And I
She's
don't
like,
even know.
I know. It was catch paper. Once again, freaking catch paper.
And
like, just
I'm sure I
roll
was
her off.
doing something else.
Yeah.
Okay, acetate is Lisa's colors of. Oh, it's on Lisa's
Yeah, I
wax
figured.
paper.
See, I knew that
Glued on paper and embossed.
was fantastic. I mean,
Okay, now I gotta go back here because Robin made a comment. I gotta find it.
Okay.
Where have we gotten the idea that imperfect people can't produce anything of value? You know, that is a really that is a because we all at some point in time have our.
Oh, we say in our intro, we are far from perfect.
And I think that the thing.
Now, I love to.
In retrospect, it's always easy to, make judgment on certain things. And you have to also consider the time in which things occurred, because things that were happening 25, 30 years ago, the social norms were much different than they are now. And not to say that they were correct or wonderful, but I do think that does need to be.
Yes, there's perspective.
Yes, put it in perspective. It's a mitigating factor in considering. But I don't want to, now that we know that, I don't want to consciously support someone whose ideas I vehemently disagree with.
Aren't in line with, yes.
Yes, I'm not going to do that. It could have been okay then. It's not okay with me now. So I hope that makes sense.
Good job, P.
Thank you, ma'am.
These people will try to manipulate you, try to bring you down, but remember, baby girl, you are a queen. Own your own crown.
Yes!
How about that?
Yes.
And so I thought that was so perfect because I got a jewel. This was sent to us by Louisa Heintzel and some happy mail that we're going to be doing some stuff with here as soon as ours actually gets to Germany. So,
okay, here, I've got to read this to you. It says, Felicia says this. The page before, she likes to name stuff.
Okay.
Orange juice and sunset. I love that. The current page is peach tea.
hey, have a drink on me.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Or two.
I love it. Oh, thanks.
We always say that coconut water would be a lot better with a lime and vodka.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, this got kind of swished over, but yeah, you know, this is a signature move.
Oh yeah, this is it.
You know,
there.
the gold fluffed out,
Okay.
and I left these. Oh, actually, see, this goes like this, because they have to kind of hook into the circle, almost lassoing it in, kind of like Wonder Woman.
Can you move that up to the camera so
I can.
that we can see that and really turn it a little bit because it's kind of blowing out.
Yeah.
There you go. That's better. Now move it to the other side and let us look at that so we know what you're talking about. Yeah, boy, she's got some bling bling there, huh?
All right, so see this tag, and I was like, okay, I can't, you know, this is that edge from it, and these are some that we did for the tag challenge. But then, see, I folded that over, and that was that one piece that I had that we sent, you know, pieces to both Lisa and Judy. This is the wild woman rises like a phoenix from the ashes of her life to become the heroine of her own legend, Shekoba. So that's a tribe in Africa, which was also very interesting. See, we learn things when we do journals.
Yeah, we thought at first it was a person, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's a tribe. And that's a very interesting. You should look it up and read about it.
And see, look, this is on pink vellum. I did a wedding invitation one time. Had those left over, so I just cut the envelopes up. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. This
We
is
have
the
things
late
marrying.
night gluing.
This is the late night gluing. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Here, that's sticking there. Okay. Okay. Whoop.
All
Crisis.
is well. All is well.
Crisis averted.
Do not panic.
Okay, so yeah, these were ones that I was just going to leave blank. But remember, these from the tag challenge that we did. This is some vellum. Crazy. And see, P was complaining about the vellum, but
I've kind of decided, I've changed my mind on the
we
vellum.
have such a love-hate relationship.
And I'll tell you what, if you do some serious, what do you call it, with the modeling paste on
Yeah.
those things, they stay put. They don't wrinkle up. They're
That's
so
right.
heavy.
Weighs it down.
Weight them down.
You'll notice that it was stamped prior, then, you know, millions of layers of gel printing and whatnot. This was a little piece that, because this actually didn't run all the way down, so then I just married that in, created the little sashy pocket business. Then these tags didn't do anything to the back because, you know, they're on metallic paper. So now these are some of the originals she allowed me to have in her journal and mine. So that which we learn now allows us to move forward faster the next time. Never apologize for using what's at hand to create a solution to your problem. Both Patricia Carmichael quotes. There you go.
Now, if you quote that, don't forget to write my name down
It's
underneath
pet peeve.
it.
Little piece there that I thought was, you know, causing the thing.
It was hanging out and it had to have a place.
There's some more of that piece, or certainly in that same, you know, realm of stuff. Ran through with the yarn. Look at that. Weaved it all the way around. Followed the thumbprint from one of the pieces of the little squares all the way up and around. And then, when seeking guidance, don't ever listen to the tiny-hearted. Be kind to them, but do not follow their advice. Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes.
She's a good woman.
She's a good woman. We would like to be friends.
We would. We should talk to her. We could collab.
Hey, if you're watching, Dr. Clarissa.
We do. We need to contact her. I haven't thought of that before, Mariah.
Yeah.
She might be up for it. She's a
Might.
storyteller.
That's true. I think she journals. Didn't she say she
She
did?
might journal.
Or does she does
She
some art.
She's a writer.
Yeah. More fluffy bits. Blotter cloth. Same technique with my most favorite. Seriously, this wool yarn. Because it's great. What is it? It's not ombre.
Isabel had to leave.
Oh, bye, Isabel. No worries. Come back. Watch the rest later on if you can.
And thank you for you're so very welcome.
Yeah.
We loved having you.
But these feel so lovely. I just love the blotter cloth. And this is layers and layers of different things. What?
I'm laughing at Robin too. Is Pete moral and politically correct. Absolutely not.
Oh no, she's completely.
I'm
No, I have to tell her
horrible,
all.
just in case I want to use the quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can check out my page and you can. I
Tell
don't
you,
have
Robin,
to
she's
answer that. Boy, she's on it today.
She's always
Oh,
here
and
to.
here, Carrie says, I love Estes.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Good to know somebody else. Have you read her book, Women Who Run with the Wolves?
Oh, she is. I meant to ask you about that.
Yes.
I didn't put that together. 'Cause
Yeah, she
I
did.
couldn't read
Mariah-
that book. I just.
Hey, that book, it took me 2 years to read it because I had to look up so many things I didn't know. It was like a totally
like a
taking
course.
a course. Yes. And you should see it. I have it all marked up and written in the margins and everything.
That's.
Okay, Arlene says, bye. Have a blessed day. Thank you, Arlene.
Okay, so. Tears are a river that takes you somewhere. Tears lift your boat off the rocks, off the ground, carrying it downriver to someplace better. Dr. Clarissa Pincola Estes. And here we are, getting lifted off the rocks into our other little tags. This one's just an arty one. I about lost my mind because this was handed over to P. She just starts chopping away, and I'm like, what?
Oh, but look at all the little
Yeah, she
pretty
did
little
this.
things I added to
She
it.
did.
And I thought, oh, look, droplets of water.
And then we
It
just
needs a wave.
Yeah, and then we just put gel print on the back, and no quote for that one. That one's just a little lovely piece. I was very happy with it. Just scared the living, but I was like, okay, wow, all right. What are you doing? Nothing is softer than water, yet nothing can resist it. Lao Tzu.
Lao Tzu.
I don't know if I say that right, but
I don't know. There may be somebody out there that does know.
yes, I love that. This was like one of my pages that I just struggled with, and
Carrie
yeah.
says, me too. I took my time with it too. It has inspired a lot of my art. It has mine too. And I think that it's almost on a subconscious level
Yeah.
after a while because, and what I love about that book is you can revisit it and just, start up any place in the book and reread it. It's lovely. I like it a lot.
There you go. Learning things.
I'm learning.
Growth.
It's not heavy. Then you can take it with you.
Hey, and that takes us to this page, I think, which is pretty good. That's
That's
pretty so
interesting.
funny. I swear, we really, it just, life works out for us. Some days. Okay, so this was a last minute entry.
And it was another tag that was started.
And then P did this lovely bit over here. And it has just the most, again, wonderful texture to it. Now, she, in the late evening, grabbed the wrong pen. And I was like spraying her, like, oh my gosh. Whoa.
Having a bit
which-
of a bleed off here.
It's not terrible, but it's kind of funny because it's vibrate on frequency that embraces the gifts, growth, and change of others. Accept challenges and failures as part of your journey. Find your light and let it shine. Know your purpose. Kassar?
Who is that?
Kassar? Jacobson?
Jacobson.
There you go.
And we don't know who that is either.
Yeah,
Someone
like I
would look
said,
it
last
up.
minute one. Little tag, and then things can change in a day. Arundhati Roy. Little bits. And then this was one gel print that I then tore up. Tore the edge, added little fluffy bits, did of course the inking or the sprays, glued this one down, but then made pockets out of the two end pieces, again with the little yarn bits. We're getting close to the end here, I promise. Oh, are you going to say hi?
Shiny pretty. Yes, I know. We do like some shiny pretty stuff.
Oh, yes. So these were tags. Wave your hand. Isabella's checking in. All right. So this was 2 paint chip things put together. They're actually 2 different colors. You can kind of see on the edge there. Had some things. But then more little pieces brought in. I had to put this little belly band, which was so great because this is also a piece from Lisa. that P had run through the embosser and then was left over from her journal. If you have yet to be called an incorrigible, defiant woman, don't worry, there is still time. Dr. Clarissa Pincola Estes. And there we go. See how that lines up? I did that on purpose. That was thought out there. We had some, I actually had to tear this off of the page.
And Carrie, I'm not going to say anything because it will just encourage her.
So, she was upset at me about tearing this one up and putting that down on the page. A little blank square.
Oh, yeah. I just remember there are a bunch of great quotes from Lao Tzu on my fridge. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Oh, I like that one. Yeah, that's
no, Arlene, all right. I mean, I'm telling you, you got to get over to Makers. You're our kind of girl. All right, so this was the page that this was actually on. I tore it off and then made it over here, pointing in, not too much at the corner. There was much discussion about this.
Yes. It's just one of my little pet peeves.
Fluffy bits. I left even the roughly edge of the tissue paper that was stenciled. Now, I did a lot of just straight up spraying. A lot of times when I do the tissue paper, I will just spray directly on it because you got to really give it, especially if you want it to kind of bleed into
it's so weird. It looks
the stencil.
So blue there, and it's really not blue.
Why are you? Well, I can see
on the monitor.
What you're saying. Part of that is that computer. So it's always one of those things.
Our new computer is not arriving until
more
July.
Napkin, little bits left over, but then this was just glued down. And then I did come back once it was sort of glued down and do a little bit of the yellow over the top of the stenciling. Because once the stenciling is dry, depending on obviously what you use, but with a lot of the sprays that I have, they don't necessarily do a lot to the dried texture paste. So you have to kind of push in to get it to really stay there.
I should make a thing here, and I don't know where the book is, but depending on the actual fluffy, light and fluffy,
yes,
is much more absorbent.
That's true.
The golden,
and we used the golden because we were
US Art Supply, even the Finnabar they're slicker, so they don't grab. They will grab the paint. They don't grab the sprays.
Yeah, and they'll grab from underneath while they're still wet. Once they dry, it's sort of a different story. It's like they seal. So that's kind of some stuff to just sort of keep in mind. This was another one of those test ones that on the paint swatches that P had done the stenciling. I think you can see it better on this one than you could on that other one. But you can see a little bit of the puzzle stencil.
And some of those were rub-offs rather than actual put-on.
So that's why they're a little lighter.
It's a little bit lighter.
But it's just such neat texture. I really wish, I don't know if it's coming through, but there, she really went heavy here. And you can see, I have little magnets. They didn't hide as well as I wanted them to, but that's due to the thin napkin blotter business.
Yeah, and if you want your magnet to stick, you don't want to be using cardstock.
Yes. Unless you want to, we haven't found super strong magnets that'll go through that. It's not my words that you should fear, but my silence. My words speak straight to the core, but my absence will leave you speechless. Nikki Rowe. And look at that. See, I wanted it to kind of be that hidden thing. Subtle.
It really
this is a very subtle page, but I love it.
It is, and you don't even know that there's something actually not glued down because you did such a nice job here.
Thanks.
That's good job, Mariah.
Thanks, P.
Oh, Arlene joined our group. All right.
Sweet.
and Carrie said, perfect, Mariah. And Carrie said, hi, Arlene.
All right, so this is the other reason I love a spiral bound journal. You can see how I can make everything flat again. It photographs so well.
And it's all about that photography.
Hey, it is for me. It's
Petra
part
said,
of the art.
I've got to go. Okay, Petra. See
Bye,
you next
Petra.
time.
We're almost here. Here, I'll kind of flip to the end so you can sort of see.
Thank you.
We're there towards the end.
Yeah.
Oh, some of my furry stuff got caught in the thing. But there.
Yeah,
See, we just
one
have
more page to go anyway.
Yeah. Another magnet page. This had lots of work. P was about to obliterate it, and I was like, please don't do that. You spent, like, I mean, she spent a good 2 hours just farting around, messing with painting on this color work. And I was like, why would you just... She's like, it's too colorful. So, you know.
Well, I think you can have too much contrast, and I think that was what I was saying.
Yes.
The saying goes with the page. Yes. We hope that
Yes.
that happens.
Nothing makes the light, the wonder, the treasure stand out so as well as the darkness. See? Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes. Boop. Magnets. Love it. Okay, one of the other things that Judy had sent us in the challenge swap stuff were, well, it was a page of the alphabet of the Braille. And so I did PM on a little card. A little ATC that hadn't quite made it into an ATC yet. Part of the stack. But see how well it all went together? That little bit of color, there was something smudgy there. I don't know. It happens. And then night is when we are closer to ourselves, closer to the essential ideas and feelings that do not register so much during the daylight hours. Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes. So, and we always thought that it was funny that, you know, the PM, there was a play on that because it's Patricia and Mariah, but it's also that we do a lot of this at night, you know, like you said, until the wee hours of the evening. These were pages left over from yours, from Lisa. So I did actually get to use a little bit of the darker purples and little off-cut bits. The last page. And we wanted to bring it back into the light. We went to the dark there. You can see the rainbow of colors. All the fluffy bits. Just made me happy. Just happy, happy. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Struggling souls catch the light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes.
Oh, thank you,
There we
Carrie.
go.
It is Braille, and I don't know where you got that, Judy,
But people love it.
but people love it, and we would certainly like to have a source for that.
Because it is really
It is-
cool to work with.
And Jeanette says, rainbow! And then, let me tell you what, that is so apropos, because this is Mariah.
And then the back page, bringing you around to the front and into the interior. Once again, see? Repetition. It's all a circle of life. Lots of knowledge. Look at that fatty boombolati. There we go.
There we go.
So, now we have about 20 minutes. Is there anything that you guys want to see and, you know, or should we go back? Do you want us to talk about anything in more depth? Are you good? Are you enlightened? All of that good stuff. And if you're watching the replay, give us a thumbs up if you've been enlightened, inspired. Is your art fire fired up?
Oh, and don't forget to comment on the washer.
Oh,
in
yes.
How are we doing that? Where are they going to comment?
Okay, that's what I was saying. If you're watching the replay, or even if you guys would come back, now, like I said, it always takes a little bit of time to render. Leave it in the comments of the video once it's rendered.
Do a comment on Makers.
Or leave it in Makers if you want that washer. And then I'll send you some other bits too. We have some stencils and some other things, but I don't want to
Me
muddy
too.
the waters there, but you'll get other things with the
Got
washer.
to go make food for the hubby. Loved everything.
Awesome, Jeanette. Thank you
I
for
know.
hanging out.
Off to Etsy. I will look to see what shop I got it from and let you know. Bless
Awesome.
your heart. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, and if you can, leave it in the, or well, she probably won't be able to leave the link there, but, yeah, let me know and I'll drop it in. I'll put it in the description of this video. So a couple of things I'll put there is the Foxy Rag link, so you guys can read and check that out. Great printables on that one.
Yeah, there really are. It's definitely
my most favorite thus far, for sure.
I think it's worth the price of the magazine just to get the printables.
Yeah, and then you get to read the articles.
Yeah.
Get to, you know.
We don't really know what she says yet because
She hasn't seen it, and I didn't get a chance yesterday because, like I said, it's been a crazy week.
Carrie says, I need to buy an embosser, some inks, some poofy texture paste.
Yes.
Poofy texture paste. Hey,
We have all of those things.
If you're going to buy any of the texture paste, I highly recommend
light and fluffy.
Light and fluffy. Let me just grab my
yes,
thing.
because then I can show them the jar. It is by far our most favorite, most used. I think P's on her 3rd jar.
I am, and I need to. I'm fixing to order my 4th.
She's fixing to do that, y'all.
That's what we say in Texas.
This is the stuff, the light and fluffy stuff that will, change you forever.
It dries quickly, much more quickly than any of the others.
Oh, because even last night, so by the time, and P was about to have a heart attack because she saw me, because I had sprayed this, done all of this, and I was kind of happy because here's the thing, if whatever you have done is still slightly damp, like I said, see how it started pulling through? So yeah, it pulled through color a bit, so then you don't even have to come back, but it highlights it, which is such a cool technique. But see over here, it didn't pull as much. It did pull the yellow.
And Carrie, this is also some of the cheaper.
Oh yeah.
This brand is some of the cheaper, and it really is it. And this is the one that it's porous enough it will take the inks. You won't be sad that you did.
No.
You will not. You will be happy that you did that.
And then some of our favorite sprays, obviously, like are the Lindy's.
Arlene says, I want to know about that stick.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go back over to P then. And
I've got to roll my chair over there, y'all. So.
All right, P side. There we go. Give her a little bloop bloop. Back to P. Her camera got a little bit.
Did it get wonky on me?
A little, but not bad.
Do I need to do
No,
something?
no, don't touch it.
She says don't touch it.
You're
All
fine.
Right, let me, okay, the stick. It came from Lake Eklutna in Alaska, and that's a really important lake because it's where Anchorage gets its water from. And a lot of the other little towns in
Now
the
here, see,
area.
you're having quite the opposite problem. You need something white to put your
My stick
stick
on?
over. There you go.
Okay, how about that one? But you can see it's just rubbed nice and smooth. I didn't do anything.
Driftwood.
I just picked it up on the shoreline. But the problem with Lake Eklutna is a lot of stuff grows down and it's bushy, and you have to fight the brush to get down to the shoreline. So it's quite, I feel that it was procured at a
Procured.
risk to my body. But here's my other sticks. And this is obviously a cottonwood. This came from a park in Anchorage, where we used to park.
That's a pretty cool. It's a
Isn't
bumpy
it
stick.
Cool looking? But you have to be. It's very fragile because it will come
It
apart.
It busts at those little nut.
At the joints.
Yes.
But I just think it's absolutely wonderful. And I don't know. Here's one that has some rusty stuff on it.
A rusty stick.
A rusty stick. And I had a piece of
Oh, jeez.
moose. I wish you could feel this because it's so dense, and that's why I know it's moose, because their bones are, can you see how thick they are?
Here, hold it more towards me. There you go.
But I found that down on the shoreline also. I love this, and I have dishes and bottles of rocks and whatnot, and then a lot of them are on the top shelf here in the studio, or I would fetch them and show them. But anyway,
As Brad calls them, the fancy things have been put up very high.
fancy thing. Now, did y'all see how that worked with the washer?
Yeah, I want you to put everything back together.
Well, what you want and what you get isn't always the same thing. That takes a bit of work there, so that one's just gonna. Okay, so this one
Arlene says she has sticks all over. Love them. And she says, oh my, a cup of sticks.
a cup of sticks. And did you see this little container?
A mosaic.
This is for, I did not make that.
No.
I bought it at a thrift shop when we lived in Denver. It was
That was a long time ago.
a long time ago. Okay, so here's the little trick with the washer thing. You just bring this around. And then you shove it up through the little hole there. And then you can put your stick in.
What kind of, it's almost like creating a little latch.
Yeah, it is. And then you just give it a yank.
Aw, Judy says, we should do this again with your quotes at night. I felt like I was at a lounge where you get up and say the things and read in front of people. And then I could light my candles and have a cocktail. Oh.
I just had little goosebumps
She
run up and
did.
down my arm.
We can do cocktail quotes.
Oh, I think that's wonderful.
Quotes and cocktails.
Quotes and cocktails in the evening time.
Hey, I know Rhonda Lee, she does a little libation with her journals and stuff when she does her flip-throughs and whatnot. Yeah. Rhonda Lee, check her out. She's hilarious. I like her. She's my kind of girl.
I get a lot funnier after my...
Oh, well, see, then, I tell you what, Robin, if you're still here or whatever, she is not PC. That is for sure. It's completely inappropriate.
Yeah, that might be one of the... I might abstain from the alcohol.
I have my moments, too. I try to be PC. To a degree.
I'm just...
Some of it's a little...
This was just really such a lot of fun, and I thank you guys for sending us awesome stuff and awesome ideas. This little pocket that you made. Lisa was, even though it got kind of...
Oh, yeah. So that was her... It started out as Lisa's pocket.
And then, see, I did these little funky... Can you see it?
Can you see it? Your lighting on your side is so much better.
It's because of my window.
Well, I have a window too, but it
I
doesn't...
know, but you have a lot of stuff obscuring.
Oh, true
But,
that.
I mean, just look at the colors here.
Oh,
And it
Leslie Wigford says, snapping fingers. That's right. We've got the Beatnik cocktail quotey hour. Maybe we could try to do a Zoom thing and record it. That would be fun.
Yeah, I think it would be too.
So you guys liked my reading. I think I did pretty
I
good.
think she did a good job. I was going to do the reading, but I was busy reading comments.
Arlene
I
says,
do-
is
I
this
do-
a PG group or can I say, oh, please say obnoxious stuff, please.
Look at that, y'all. Okay, let's have a vote, real quick vote here.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, I love that, and I think it should get glued down personally. So let us
All
know
right.
in the chat, guys. Oh, she's gonna
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna just. Grab
I can cut more. I did order more. I have more stencil material.
Look at that finesse.
Which,
there.
if you do want these, they are available in our Etsy shop. They are made out of the 74-pound Yupo, which you can see here
And
even
if
can be...
you want me to texturize it up for you before we send it, you just.
If you would like yours pre-printed.
If you like your stencil pre-printed, I'd be happy. I'm talking funny because I have a pen in my mouth.
She has the glue pen in her mouth.
That's the only way I can keep track of them. I cannot tell you how many pens I have lost.
Oh, Robin says there might be time zone issues. Well, I'll tell you what would happen, Robin. With you being in California, what would happen is that we would be pretty, well on our way. And then
when you finally
yeah, when it's like about, the time you want to have a cocktail, like we'd be 2 hours in. Well, actually, P's not going to last that long anyway. I'll just warn you on that. I might be able to. It's been a while, though. Arlene says, stick it down. Stick it, Judy says. Yes. I love it.
I do too.
So there you go.
Those stencils that you screw up when you're scraping or doing whatever, don't throw them away. You just,
God, no.
You just,
Print on them or paint on them.
I love the idea of.
That's the beauty of the Yupo. Because it is meant to actually take either like watercolor, alcohol inks. It works brilliantly with the gel print. And if you do want to wipe it up, you can.
Yeah.
P just didn't because she kind of likes that texture that builds up, which is added.
Because then I will flip
Yes.
it over, and this will show up on my gel plate.
And she can even soak those. She has soaked them,
I
and
have
it
soaked
comes
them
off.
overnight. And hydrogen peroxide and Dawn.
And then it lifts up. And then
you just peel it.
Yeah, and then you can keep the skin if you want.
Oh, do you know where that skin
I was
is?
about to say, do you know where the skin is? She found this in one of the files the other day. She goes, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Well, I think that's when you clean that one stencil, because that's what it looks like." And look at her. She went right to it.
Well, that's just because I just found
Like, yeah, it was like yesterday or day before.
Yeah. It was a
Not that time much.
recent.
But look at that. So that's what'll float up. And then you can use that to glue down. It looks very much like,
I thought it was actually the stencil, and I was
And
like,
it's-
why did I put that here?
I said, no, that's when you cleaned it.
And these are little pieces. You can see the backside is, and the reason I cleaned it, to see that right there, that's the black modeling paste. That's some evil stuff. But look at that. Isn't that awesome? I mean, it's like either
Yeah, so
side.
that was what was the last layer.
Yeah, this was what determined, because you can see my holes are
Started plugging.
clogging up. The little holes no longer
Plugging the
exist.
holes.
I kept thinking, boy, this looks really different, this stencil. What's wrong?
What's wrong with this?
It's okay, we got some plugged up holes.
Oh, here, you can even show the puzzle one. All right, we've got like 10 minutes. We're just going to yammer on about stencils and stuff, and then we'll, have people
but
leave us
skins-
nasty comments.
Okay,
And
and I don't, if you're a new brayer, if you're a new,
have you found your brayer?
I haven't found my other one.
So here, Arlene, this will really be along your level because it looks like a piece of birch bark.
So if I can get it off
Yeah,
of
it's marrying up. Like I said, it's a bit humid here. It came out a lot better the other day.
Okay, here is, and
One side.
I'm very proud of this one, because you don't know how hard this is. This is where you're peeling the stuff off, and see, you can see my
Oh, Carrie, you have no idea the things around
naked
here.
brayer here, okay? And I still got one little funky dot on there, which I don't know what that is. but
That was that one that you kept talking about. And you're like, you think that's causing a lot of the...
that's causing much of my problemo. See it on here? But
It's
look
been
at
there a
this side.
while.
Okay, is this not lovely stuff? But then look at this side. Oh, I need
There you go. Robin said she just put some tequila in her orange juice and call it at lunch. So there you go. I like it.
I could do. You know what I love? I love Bloody Marys.
Oh yeah, I think about blood every time. Like I
I
have
with
celery,
celery and
yeah.
all that good stuff and green beans. But look at that texture on that. Isn't that just awesome? And then this is the other side of the brayer. And here's some other pieces that I don't know that y'all are interested. But look, this is pretty cool because you can see the holes. I think I already showed that one. Yeah, you've already seen that one. But nothing goes to waste here. What does she want?
Yeah, we were trying to do the alphabet back there.
Yeah, I know. Still some more practice. But you're doing good.
With me, Mommy.
All right, 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes.
Come on, Eddie, come on.
Okay, so this is almost to the point right here where it gets designated to the
Well, it's either...
collage.
Well, does it become art or do you clean it? But this is a tricky one because it has such small little connection points.
Yeah, and I just, when I was pulling off the one on the
We're still working on this
Petri
one.
dish one, this one was pretty easy because there weren't any little parts that, were possibly...
It's got thicker connection
yeah.
points. But these are so cool. So, it's one of the... Oh, hey, Christy! Oh, she's at lunch. I'm glad you caught the end here. We got about 8 minutes.
8 minutes. But anyway, that is this probably, and can you see this with some really
And once
pretty papers underneath, even if you
Yes,
use like
almost like a stained glass window kind of
stained
thing.
glass window thing.
Ooh, or you could even bubble it up in certain areas so it gets puffy. I
It
like
look
that
like,
idea.
an old rusty gate or lattice
Yes.
on
a doorway to the garden.
Anyway, I don't have this stencil available in the shop yet because we're still working out some points because they're just, it's not, I don't want to sell it because I think people would be upset. We obviously don't get upset about it because like we make anything work, but you know, if you're buying something, I think that it should be the best stencil it could be.
Now here is a new and improved version, but there's still some places on it. Now, you know, here's a disclaimer. If you're willing to buy it and take the chance that some of those are going to break, because obviously there's some very tiny places there.
Yeah, either let us know in the chat or come over to Makers. Let me know. We can work out something. I'm not going to list it in the shop yet, though.
Look at this texture on this.
Because I would rather it be people that know us and appreciate us and understand how and why and, you know, all of that stuff.
Yeah, and we can chat about it, and if you're very disappointed in it, you can send it back and we'll give you your money.
There you go.
But isn't that lovely?
I love that.
The reason I stopped printing and using this one in this episode is because I love it so much.
The colors get to be a point where you're like,
and
yeah.
you can really, and I don't know if I can get that to go. Can you see how thick it is? How thick it's become. Which
is kind of nice too. Like that's one thing to keep in mind. Once you've gel printed on it for a while, it strengthens it. So if it's kind of these wispier ones, then you can use it for stenciling.
Look at how pretty that is.
And wipe it up a bit more, you know, vigorously.
I actually took one in and scrubbed it with the nail brush. I think I.
Yeah, it's just those wispy ones.
This one I just soaked it and then pulled it off,
which is very satisfying as well.
Yeah, this was kind of fun. You know,
this is if you're pickers,
paint picker kind of people.
We are paint picker kind of people. You know what I'm saying, Pete?
enough about it. Okay, I'll put that over here and then.
I know. I don't know how to create like a. That's what I need is like a clearance out. I could do it on our website.
Do what?
Like clearance stencils. Like you buy it as is, no returns. Like they're gonna be ones that have little pieces because sometimes if I'm not watching the Cricut or if the mat isn't sticky enough or there's about 20 million things that can happen at once.
That's what.
Yeah.
Black Anorex does with her buttons that aren't perfect.
Oh, there you go. So maybe we'll create a clearance over on PMArtistStudio.com.
Yeah, then we won't have to deal with the Etsy.
Yeah, Etsy just, you know, the thing is they take their little piece and all of that. But, like, actually, I think that's a good one. I was going to show one of the ones that, you know, where I'll send a little freebie here and there, and they're usually the ones that have gotten caught up. And the leaf stencil's the trickiest. It always has a...
And I wanted to, you know, some of you may know this person, Pascaline Berry.
See here, that one has like one little spot where it cut the connection because it got a little tied up.
And see, I don't mind those imperfections.
No.
I almost think that they're like, it's the crack that lets the light in.
It's the crack that lets the light in.
It's, you know, let her
Oh, Lisa, hey. No worries, we talked about you a ton.
Yes, were your ears burning or your nose itching or something like that? I can't remember what it is.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, Pascaline Berry is part of Susan Taylor Brown's group, I think.
And she does amazing things.
Oh, she did this purple suede journal that is all purple. Oh my God.
Oh, I saw that.
Did you see that?
That's beautiful.
It is. I mean, I want to collab with her on my purple project.
Oh yeah, she's got it in a bag.
Yeah, if anybody, because the cover that she made was, I mean, you couldn't even tell. You probably would have thought she purchased it because it's so perfect. Yeah.
Oh, Arlene. So she says that she likes the border. That's one of the things we try to leave as much border. Now, when I'm cutting this set of 7, it's a little bit smaller, but it makes the most sense, you know, the price and all of that, like, because it takes time to cut these and lay them out and do all that sort of thing. We always try to leave as much border as we possibly can.
Because it's nice when
You have something to grab onto.
Or
and
if
stenciling.
you are doing the modeling paste, it's nice to start it over here rather than blopping it and having it squish under. But if you can start it out here and then pull it in and scrape it, you have chances of a much more successful,
Yes.
that.
I even have some gear. I have a set of gears. Here, you want to show those?
Yeah.
So this comes in a set because I was starting to think about, and I may even do a thing that is about that size in a set.
I think that would be a really, because
So-
then the nice thing about this is you can move them around.
Yeah.
You can put this here, you can overlap them, you can, you know, you have much more flexibility, I think.
Yeah.
Together,
You can kind of
like
create
this,
different.
going off the page, you know, coming back in.
Plus, I can set it in a 6x9 envelope. That's how some of these things just turn out. It's not like I'm being, you know, super creative. It's more about being creative to be able to ship things.
Okay, this is yours, and I do
Okay.
have
Yes.
duplicates of that.
Yeah, I don't like to leave my clean stencils
Now,
with
this
it.
is another one that I mean, this is absolutely the best ever stencil because I've used it to simulate leaves.
Now, we've never shown this. We've never talked about this. I am still working on this.
Can we watch Dorothy?
So, I'm going to leave you guys with this.
This is rub-ons.
Rub-ons. Printable rub-ons.
If you're interested, comment below.
Yes, I'm just figuring out how to make these to where people really want to use them. I'm trying to figure them out. I think I printed it backwards. But, you know.
It does work,
It does.
but it is a very cool effect. I was very impressed, and I thought it was kind of ditzy. And,
All right,
I
so,
love that.
hey, SVG file. Oh, Carrie, talk to me. You know I'll hook you up.
Here, I'm going to show this side because that shiny side is really annoying.
And Christy, you know I'll send you some files too. Any of you guys with any cutting machines, let me know. Talk to me directly. I'm not going to list them in the store because I want to know who has them. Because at that point when it is digital, it becomes a different thing. So I'm just not ready for that in my life right now. So yes, SVG files, cut files, whatever you want. If you were watching this and watching the replay or any of that, please reach out to me on any of the social media, Instagram, anywhere, and we will talk. So that is always a possibility. I think we're at the end of our stream. Thank you guys. If you haven't liked the video, please do. That always helps us, as we say. We are even doing the cup of coffee thing. Some other people are doing that. Again, thank you to Pat Anderson for giving us that 3 cups the other day.
Yes,
that was
and we
super,
missed you,
super
Pat.
sweet. Yeah, Pat Anderson. And so a little way to give us a little thank you and help us, you know, buy the next pot of light and fluffy. So there we go. We will see you next week. I don't know what we're going to do, so we'll talk about that more maybe in Makers. And thank you guys. Thank you to Judy and Lisa for doing this swap with us and the challenge. It really was like it. You saw. I mean, it brought out our journaling. So we love that.
This is the first journal I've done in a
Long time. All right, guys. Thank
Thank
you so much.
you.
Bye.
Bye.